What's up, Dragon Brood? So, today we're going to take things a little bit different direction. Like, we've been playing all these crazy multicolor combos, we've been trying to do waste stuff over the top, we've been trying to race against those ultimatum decks, which we've actually been doing a pretty good job. If you really want to beat the ultimatum decks, I really think checking out the haste deck from a couple days ago is probably the direction you need to go. However, we do have another deck that actually is able to hang with the ultimatum decks, or the Yorion decks in particular, and that's mono green. Now, we had some versions of mono green earlier in the season, but today we're going to play one that comes from another creator that goes by Jim Davis. You may know him. He actually was a top level tournament player on a couple of different circuits for a while, and really nice dude. So decided I was going to feature that deck. He played it last weekend or the weekend before in one of the $5,000 tournaments that was run online. So I figured, hey, good enough for him, good enough for me, saves me the time, and we're going to get right into it. Now, the fun thing is this is going to be one of the easier and faster kind of deck tech portions to go through, because nothing's really new here. These are all kind of the things you already know about and expect to see in a mono green deck. Just the numbers are kind of all you're really kind of moving around here. So he's playing two Snakeskin Veils, which I do like. You know, I think there's times we may want even a third one, but they're actually really good for a lot of situations. You know, you can protect creatures from apparitions, you can protect stuff from Heartless Axe, like just lots of little things. You know, even Binding of the Old Gods. You know, lots of stuff this card protects you from. Swarm Shambler, good quality early play, especially since you have a few things that get counters. Scavenging Ooze, Tangle Florahedron. And I actually don't mind this being in the list. I know there's some lists that do without it, but it's neat because you can play it as a creature early if you need to, if you're going to be a little land flooded. But if you just need mana, it's not bad. Same thing with Kazandu Mammoth, only Kazandu Mammoth can be much bigger. So having those two basically gives you what I like to call 3 pseudo lands, because sometimes you do want them as creatures. So I count double face lands as like a half card, and that seems to help out pretty well. But works out really solid on this list. Love Struck Beast, obviously, probably one of the best green cards everybody's going to miss post rotation. Then we got a Garruk Unleashed, just a one of, and I don't really mind it just being one. I mean, this is the kind of card that if it comes out early, cool, make you a 3/3, you know, maybe give something trample in a fight. You know, if you happen to get it out after a Vorinclex, you can just go ultimate right from the get-go and go get your best cards from there. So overall, it's actually a pretty solid card. It's just not one you want a lot of. Gym Razor, Questing Beast. This is another one where I think Questing Beast has kind of fallen off the radar a little bit, but, you know, even coming back to the concept of trying to get up under a lot of these decks, being able to respond after they sweep the board, you know, this is really the type of card you're looking for. So Questing Beast makes a lot of sense here. Playing one Vivian Monster's Advocate, kind of just like a long game card. I also like that it allows you to make tokens with Reach, because that helps you against all these dragon decks, things that are trying to get after you with Auron's Epiphany, you know, a lot of those types of things. It's really good for solving those scenarios. Then a couple of Vorinclex, just because, yeah, it's big meaty boy, and it can actually stop your opponent from doing stuff with counters, which is good. It helps you a little bit, but it really stops your opponent a lot, which is the big thing in this deck. Then we have 3 Great Hinge. We're playing so many big bodies that having 3 Great Hinge does not feel awful. Like, you're going to be able to play it for 4 or 5 just about always, and you're going to get to the mana to be able to cast it. So this is a deck I think you do actually want that 3rd Great Hinge, just to make sure you have it when you're able to cast it. Then we have 3 Stonecoil Serpents. Stonecoil is really funny right now, right? Because it's weak to things like Apparition, because it's just all the value for the Apparition without giving you anything back. But like, the other side of that is it's great against stuff like rogues. You know, it can't be hit by Drown in the Lock. It blocks the Soaring Thought Thief. You know, like, Lurrus can't do anything to it. So like, there's matchups like that where it's really good, and you have others where it's just like, why is this card here? The fact that it tramples, and it does have some synergy, you can do some cool things with Gym Razor, make it totally worth having in the list. Then we're playing 4 Primal Mites because, well, it's a good removal card. But I will say this, I think one of the things too is this comes back to letting you kind of get things done against those ultimatum decks, right? If they sweep the board, or let's say they Extinction Event and they get rid of 2 of your creatures and leave you with 2 creatures, maybe a 2/2 and a 1/1 or something. Well, you could still possibly Primal Mite, pump something up and be attacking for 7 or 8 that next turn, and that might be lethal. So, you know, Primal Might really has a home. So we'll just see how it works out in these games. And then we have 3 Castle Garen Briggs just to make more mana, 16 Snow-Covered Forests to facilitate the 3 Faceless Havens. So we will see how all this goes in the games in the arena. And don't forget, we do have a card spotlight at the end of the video like always, and I will have some updates to this list after we play our game. Or we can have an opponent that's just not present. There we go. Opponent's ready to go. I will keep this. All right. Let's see. All right, so opponent didn't do anything there. This hand is a little suspect because we kind of need to do this anyway. But we do open ourselves up to some easy removal, or if they sweep our 1/1s, like we don't get to use. Yeah, this is going to be kind of tough. Well, another one for later isn't bad, I guess. You know what? I'm gonna wait to cast that. They're probably just gonna Omen of the Sea now because I did that, but that's fine. I think the reason I'm waiting though is I'm gonna try to protect a Lovestruck Beast with a Snakeskin Veil, then sort of try to force their hand on the next turn. Either get them to Shadow's Verdict or something to try to deal with it. Alright, they're going to Cultivate. So they're just going to try to Ultimatum in 2 turns. Not sure how I feel about that. We technically will be able to Vivian before that. We do have a Questing Beast. That is not the worst thing, but we did no real damage before turn 4, though. I mean, opponent's still at 15. This is not how we're supposed to try to win this particular matchup, for sure. I mean, the one saving grace could be maybe they don't have the 7th land in hand, and they just, like, Binding on the Old Gods, and we can protect our Lovestruck Beasts. Might be the only real plan we've got. And then we're just gonna probably... Damn, we probably have to go Vivian and then go for it. Might be our only plan there. Oh. Alrighty then. Is that good enough? Probably just follow with the Heartless Act or something here. But if so, that does mean Vivian gets through. That's not the worst thing. Alright. Oh, that's nice to know. And we will have the mana for that next turn. Oh, this is so tight. Because we could get 8 damage in. If the opponent were to not have an ultimatum, maybe they just take extra turns, right? Then they're only attacking for 2. But they could have like a Shadow's Verdict. But Shadow's Verdict wouldn't kill Vorinclex. Actually, wouldn't kill Questing Beast either. But an Extinction Event would kill all of either of those. So we're going to attack for 2. And then I'm going to play Vivian. And I'm going to make a 3/3 with reach. So if they do take an extra turn, we'll be able to block at least one of the 1/1s. Barring them having removal or something, but, you know, if they have it all, they have it all. And then we do have Vorinclex and questing beasts that we can take some advantage of. All right, there's the ultimatum. Which this gets tricky because we kind of assume they have an extra epiphany in hand already. So it's kind of like, what do we give them if that's the case? I say because we have Vorinclex, we put back Shark Typhoon. Seems like the right answer. And like Kiora sucks, don't get me wrong, that's a hard card to deal with, but we've got Questing Beast, we've got Vorinclex. I think we just got to find a way to deal with it. We have a way to make extra tokens. The opponent will get an extra turn, so we kind of have to play Vorinclex and hope they don't have an 8th land. It's probably going to be our plan here.
So you've seen through my disguise.
But I think that's all we can do. Maybe we play... No, we have to play Vorinclex first. Because this keeps the opponent from just tapping our stuff down permanently. Especially when they have an extra turn coming. So we're probably going to play Vorinclex, make a 3/3 with Reach. And then hopefully Questing Beast can do what it needs to do. Though unfortunately, Tibalt would also be able to remove something. So we have to figure that part of the equation out too, which is no good. But if we... How do we do this? They tap non-land things down, right? So what if we Questing Beast, attack with everything? That still puts Valky down to 3. They'd be able to remove a Vorinclex next turn. But the opponent would be incentivized to attack with everything. But that would 8, 8, and 2 is only 18. That doesn't kill us. I don't know what the right line of thought is here. I don't know if there's a good strategy. Mostly because Tibalt's a thing. What do we do? Maybe I should have just let them have the Tibalt and the Shark Typhoon. Would have been smarter. Well, either way, I think we're going to do this. So that's 6. It's just how do we spend it? Do we do Questing Beast and Vorinclex? Or Questing Beast and Lovestruck Beast? I think we do. I think that's what we're going to do. I don't think it's necessarily right, but this is what we're doing.
Beauty lies in variation.
I mean, they're not likely to block with their 8/8 here. Oh, they are. Oh. Well. I didn't see that coming. Okay. I mean, do they just have another ultimatum? Okay, extinction event, sure. On even. That kind of makes sense. Eliminate, sure. Oh, they found another epiphany. Or ultimatum. Oh boy, okay. Man, the opponent made a play that just made no real sense to me. So now we have to be careful to not give them well, this is just 7. Gosh. And the opponent's only at 8. That's what makes this so bad. That's what makes it so bad. But, like, if they remove, they could just kill Vorinclex. They could cast their Ultimatum next turn. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, they totally can. Alright, well, I don't think we have much choice in the matter. This is the worst. Do we attack the opponent or do we attack Tybalt? I think we have to attack the opponent and just hope for the best. I wish I could play this as a land off the top of my library, but I can't.
I love making new friends.
I mean, they're at 2, so we'll do it. I mean, not good. I feel like I made a wrong choice last turn. That's all I know. It's like, I just feel like... But I feel like I got bailed out because my opponent blocked when they didn't really have to. And even then, I don't think this was good enough to win here. I don't feel like I played it awful. I just feel like there's like a small percentage margin somewhere in here that I just didn't get. And sometimes that's the difference in your games, you know? Alright, so there's a Shark Typhoon. Exiling everything from yards, which is going to let them kill the Vorinclex.
Your very memory.
Think she went for even. But that kills everything off. But unfortunately, that's going to leave them... They do have a Heartless Act, right? Because they used a Heartless Act along the way? Yeah, they did. So we have to draw exactly... Oh, we already know what's on top, though. Yeah, that's no good for us. Yeah, we're dead. Oh, no, they're tapping out. Oh, Questing Beast is going to win. This is so dumb. We had no right to win this. We had no business winning this. Truly, truly no business winning this. This is absurd. Wow. 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 Like... Alright, we get to go first against another Yorion deck. Here we go. I gotta tell you, man, post-rotation, we're gonna be sad, because Questing Beast's a hell of a Magic card if you're a green player. That card does some work. Alright. I'm going to assume you have something to kill a creature. So let's attack for 1 first. And then we're going to play this duder out there. I'm not going to give you the Lovestruck Beast just yet. Oh, you had a Jawari's Disruption. Ah, okay. Well, it would have been better to play the Lovestruck Beast. I would have rather had the Mammoth, actually. As it turns out. Ooh, but now we have backup Questing Beast, which we do like that. Though I guess now that we know they're playing Disruptions, right? Do we just Lovestruck Beast, let them kill it, then play Questing Beast, let them kill it? Though the thing is, if they're playing the Disruptions and stuff, then they're just going to take longer to get to Ultimatums, and that actually benefits us. Alright, Omen of the Sea. I'm going to assume the next play is about to be a Binding of the Old Gods. Oh, I could say my last opponent beat themselves? They kind of did. Left 2 cards on top. That's usually bad for us. Though it is not a Binding of the Old Gods here, which is nice. Cultivate. We never like seeing the Ultimatum players cultivate. Almost no matter what Ultimatum they're playing. You never want them to cultivate. Okay, well the good news here, let's draw land so that we can... Okay, there's the first one. Questing Beast can get in there. So here comes 10. Now, if we can find another land, we could get in with the big Vorinclex. Though they could Extinction Events and just keep the Lovestruck Beast from attacking. Shadow's Verdict. Well, that's not going to come on. Oh, I was going to say. Well, we can also Primal Might for... I guess we only need to do it for exactly 4, huh? Well, looks like we have 4. All right. Oh. Submit 0. Because there's no creatures I don't control. Attack for 8. All right. 2 Yorions up, 2 Yorions down. We get to a first this time. This is pleasant. Yeah, we'll keep this. I have a feeling turn 2, I'm probably just going to play a Kazandu Mammoth as a land. Yeah. Mostly because I want to set up the option to be able to play a Questing Beast when the time comes. Yeah, I didn't attack because I figured something like that might happen. And you want to at least give ourselves the opportunity with a Shambler. Well, now we'll attack because I'm not going to be able to put counters on it. 1, 2, 3. Granted, we could just be in trouble anyway if they have an Aspirant, because that's going to be bad for our Serpent, and then even worse for our Questing Beast. Ah, there's a Heliod, but Heliod by itself doesn't really scare us. Heliod, after what comes next, scares the poop out of us. Here's a question. Do we attack for 3 and then play a 4/4 Stonecoil, then play Questing Beast? Because if they try to Apparition then, that's still only 3, 4... That'd be 2, 3, 4. So they'd have to play another 1/1 to make Heliod live. Alright. We're going to attack with just Stonecoil. I don't think they're going to block. I was going to say, I'd be very surprised if they did. And then this just sets up a situation where even if they do make Heliod live, they're likely not going to want to attack with it. Okay, maybe they are then here. Because now they're going to put a lot of counters on something. That's going to be real bad. Yeah, sure, no blocks. Alright, what do we do here? Because we kind of... This is bad because we sort of need to... Great Hinge to keep the opponent from putting counters on stuff with the Vorinclex the following turn. But then we end up with this turn not really doing anything other than us just gaining 2 life and putting a counter on the Shambler, which isn't awesome. I think it's what we do, though. And we just pass. I think it's our only shot, really. Oh, a Blade Historian. That sucks. Alright. Well, little Swarm Shambler's going to end up doing a whole lot of nothing here. Don't think we're going to do anything here. I think we're just dead. Like... Ugh. I don't know what to do with this. I'm going to keep this one for science, just to see how it works out. Because I have a feeling this is not going to go well for us. But I kind of need to know. We're only going to play 1 spell this turn, and since that's going to come into tap later, let's go ahead and play it now. And I'm actually not going to put counters on my Swarm Shambler. Oh, okay, actually I lied. Maybe I am. I'm just going to try to cast this. This is probably a mistake here. Oh no, it actually got through. Huh. Okay. And that got through. Oh boy. Okay. That's news. Oh. Well, alright. Man, this draw wasn't good. This, I don't know. I just feel like every Izzet spells deck is just not... I don't think this is the card. Like, I get the idea of wanting to have, like, card advantage and card quality and all that, but, like, I've just not had that card work for me. I've tried in a lot of different builds, y'all. I mean, this is going to limit our possibility of attacking with Lovestruck Beast the rest of the way, but alright, opponent scoops. I'm going to mulligan this. Alright, this feels a little bit better. Though I'm probably going to put away Vorinclex, I think. And then we're going to do this, and then we'll just see. If we draw a land, I'll consider playing the Florahedron. If we don't draw a land, then I'm just going to put Florahedron in tapped. Well, we kind of drew a land. I don't think that really counts. So let's just play the Florahedron. Yeah. So we can at least get our choice. If we want to play Mammoth or we want to play Lovestruck Beast, like, either can become a real option. I might play... If I get a land, I would rather play Mammoth first. No, maybe I wouldn't. I don't know. Let's see. Well, that sort of takes the decision out of our hands. I will not be able to play Questing Beast next turn, but that's okay, I guess. Still need to draw an untapped land here. And again, Expressive Iteration. If I get an untapped land, this is going to go bad for the opponent. Crush the Weak. Okay, sure. Like, my plan was not to attack there anyway. I mean, I guess I could destroy an artifact. That's still a thing you can do in red. And does the Prismari command destroy an artifact? Because one of them's draw 2 cards, deal 2 damage, make a treasure. I think it's destroy an artifact. Is that the last one? Alright, they've got 1 blue open. How do we choose to deal with this? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 7 mana exactly. We don't mind that. Let's start with the Questing Beast. I mean, if you just have Essence Scatter, ah well. like we'll eat it. Oh, that could be good for later. Like Castle Gambrig. Alright. Attacking. We didn't draw any more creatures, though, so if they find a way to sweep the board here, we could be in trouble. The only thing they could have, though, is Draconic Intervention, and they don't really have anything in the yard. Alright, so they could make a dragon maybe here, and then, I don't know, bounce something. Nope, not enough. But I guess Ashiok has snakes. Alright, Swarm Shambler. Ooh, I wasn't going to do this, but I kind of like this. Since it results in another creature, if they target something. Alright, Maze Mind Tome. Man, it is so tempting to just Gem Razor that Maze Mind Tome right now. get in for 6, 7. Man, that'd be good. But then we can't defend anything. I don't think I necessarily want to do that. Not yet. I'll set it up for next turn, though. And hopefully we can draw a land. Because if we could Gem Razor plus protect whatever we decide to Gem Razor, that'd be cool. Right now, it's not great because Extinction Event gets our 2 best things. So I may, well, yeah, even if I put the Gem Razor on something, I'm making it worse, actually. Okay, they don't have black mana, though. So they can counter something, but can't really kill anything. Okay, well. That's a good land to have. Okay, now I feel a lot better about doing this. So we'll go ahead and just put this on the Stonecoil Serpent, since it's also protected from random cards. That's going to be 6, 7, 8, 9. Puts the opponent at 7. We get to attack for 5 next turn, possibly 6. All right, what you got, opponent? There's a land for the Extinction Event, I'm assuming. Yep. No surprises. Actually, here's a question. If I put this on here, that's 2. 1, 2, 3, 4. Nope, I can only get it up to 6. That wouldn't be enough. Dang. Close, though. Very, very close. But not enough. Alright, so now, do we just attack and put the opponent down to 2? And just say, hell with it on Stonecoil? So I'm trying to think, like, if we make this as a 4, what can they draw next turn? Because Binding of the Old Gods doesn't kill it. I guess they could play Shadow's Verdict. Then they're at 6. This plus a counter is only 5. Putting them at 2. I'm just trying to think, like, I think we have to do this because it forces them to use. If we had another mana this turn, if this was a land, I would feel better about it because then I could Snakeskin Veil to protect our Faceless Haven on a coming turn. But we don't have that scenario at the moment. So if they just have a Shadow's Verdict, then so be it. If they have another Extinction Event, then they'll just use it. Yeah, Binding can't kill the Stonecoil. So now they're just dead. Yep. Alright, cool. So as it turns out, the deck did pretty much what it wanted to do as far as handling the Yorion decks, which is pretty sweet. I do think, though, it did end up being slightly weaker to the mono-white variants. Whether they're coming through with the super small creatures or they're trying to top out at the Blade Master, Heliod type stuff, like, either way, I think those were a little bit more of a problem. So what I did in my update is I actually took out 1 Primal Might and I swapped out, what did I took out the Vivian and ended up putting in 2 Blizzard Brawl. So that brings us to 5 removal cards, and it gives us stuff we can play cheaper to also put other blockers out at the same time while we're trying to deal with some of that. And to also further facilitate that and get some extra snow-covered lands in, I did take out 1 Castle Garenbrig and add 1 more snow-covered swamp. Or snow-covered forest, sorry. So I think that actually brings up those numbers a little bit and makes that a little better for us. I would say, though, I would probably consider finding room for another Blizzard Brawl. Mostly because we've been running into a lot of those decks. Even more so than the Ultimatum decks lately, which is kind of surprising. Could be just coincidence over the last 2 days, but it is something to keep an eye on. And we do seem to be handling the Ultimatum decks pretty handily, so I'm not sure. Maybe we just replace the Garruk. Maybe that's where the other Blizzard Brawl comes from. Who knows? But this is a deck you can definitely ladder with, and if you were worried about the Yorion decks, this is one that can actually handle those matchups for you. Now, as for today's card spotlight, we're going to talk about Will-O-The-Wisp, mostly because this is another card that shows how different things are in Magic today, and like how much the players understand and how strategies change, and even the quality of the cards. because once upon a time, Will-O-the-Wisp was like the most annoying card a lot of decks would play against because it didn't have a way to deal with it. As long as your opponent had black mana open, this thing was just going to stop the creatures you had forever. Not realizing that, well, if you made your opponent tap it, then they couldn't actually block, and then that became a thing where people wanted to start using Twiddle to tap Will-O-the-Wisp so it couldn't block, and like just more bad cards facilitating the, I don't know, the circumventing the other bad cards. But that's just where we were once upon a time. You know, now it's cool that if you have old ones of these, they're worth a few bucks, like $7 or $8, I think, from Revise. So, you know, they still have some value, but they are definitely not the world beaters they were before. I mean, I believe they were reprinted in Masters 25, Modern Mat, or whatever that set was. And even then, it got zero play outside of Limited, so no surprise at all. Remember, if you want today's deck list, you can get it down in the description below. And check out the links in the description because I have stuff for all kinds of things. If you want to come join us in our Discord, if you want to follow me on Twitch or on Facebook, or even on Twitter, just come by and get some cool, interesting conversation. Or if you want deck help on any of those things, all that can be done below. Also, we have links to my podcast and our shop there if you want to get some special playmats and tokens. And finally, please remember to hit that like button, hit the subscribe button, hit that notification bell, because those help me out so much and let you be notified every time we have a video up. But that's all I have for you for now. We'll see you next time.